Oh yeah, hi folks. This is Gary McPherson again. Yeah, I'd like to tell you about another novel that I wrote, and they're all mostly science fiction. No, the Thrall trilogy. That's a trilogy. The Experiment was the short novelette, and I think I told you about The Sale of the Century. Oh, I didn't tell you about Out of the Garden yet. I'll have to tell you about that one. I don't know if I told you about that one. But this one is basically a private detective story, kind of like a Magnum PI type of story. This detective, his name is Jim Short, but everybody calls him Shorty. And he hates that name, but the name stuck with him, see, because he knows people with he's a private detective, but he's got an inside man with the Nevada Police Department, and they work together. He pays him under the table sometimes, and plus he knows the FBI, and so forth like that, because he used to work at Area 51, but he retired and became a private detective. But everybody calls him Shorty, but he's not short. And when they call him Shorty, they say, "Don't you but just not call me that fucking name." He says, "I ain't short, man." So he's sitting in his office one night, and a beautiful lady called Annie Colt comes in, and she's rich because she's part of the Colt family, the Colt Firearms, and she wants to hire him to find out who killed her baby sister, Julie Colt. And so he says, "Well, I want $2,000 a day plus expenses." And she says, "Well, hell with that, I'm rich. Here, I'll give you $10,000 a day plus expenses." And she throws $10,000 right down on the table in front of Friday's desk. And she's beautiful and everything, but she's like a billionaire or something like that. So Shorty takes the case. So he calls his buddy in the Nevada Police Department, John Dillon. So they get together, and see Dillon, when he's not on other cases, well, when he's off duty or whatever, then he works for Shorty under the table, and Shorty just pays him cash. He says, here you go, here's $2,000, keep the change. So him and Shorty go around in their little Volkswagen or whatever little tiny car they're in, riding around the desert in Nevada and everything, looking for clues and all. And he's got this girl that he also works with, and she's so oriental, and she used to be a lab technician for NASA or somewhere, I forget. So they're trying to find clues about Julie Colt's murder, and I don't really remember the whole story myself because I haven't looked at it lately. I'd have to read back through the whole book, and I wrote the thing, and I'm not even quite remember how the whole story goes. But anyway, so they start digging up clues because he used to work at Area 51, and he knew like General George Patton Jr. He knows people in the military, people with the FBI, because there was this agent called Jim Steele. And when Shorty's on the case, sometimes because they know Shorty, see, because he used to work at in Area 51, and I call it Echo Lake, Nevada, and the name of the book is The Odd Murder at Echo Lake. And so through the novel, they're finding more clues and so forth. And Shorty's got this special technology that he uses to track people down with. And somebody gets killed, one of his acquaintances or something, I forgot. So they're tracking this killer down. And they ended up on a flight going all the way to Switzerland because they tracing this guy to the Alps, you know. So him and Dylan, they go to Switzerland and so forth. And because, you know, he's getting $10,000 a day plus expenses, so he don't give a damn. So, but in the end, they find out the two killers of who killed Julie Colt. And then but Shorty says, well, because he was getting help from the military, because General George Patton Jr. was helping him out too. And so he says, well, I'll show you who did this, but he wanted to have a meeting at Area 51 again. And the general said, okay, so he authorized it. So him and Dylan, and they go to meet the general there at Area 51. And then that's when he finally lets you know what happened and who killed Julie Colt and the reasons why and so forth. So I can't explain the rest of it because I couldn't tell you that. But it's called The Odd Murder at Echo Lake. It's a private detective story. Well, that's all I can say for now. All right, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And please buy my novels at www. like Sam, oh yeah, okay, it's S like Sam, B like boy, P like Paul, R like Robert, A like Apple, .com, / G like Gary, D like David, M like macaroni, A like Apple, C like Charlie, / because that's my official website, and I think you can only buy it from there right now, but I think you have to put it on your credit card. Alright, thanks a lot, folks, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.